Hey guys, I'm back for another podcast here this Friday into Saturday. I just want to apologize straight ahead if my voice is a little raspy, a little sick sounding, and if it is, that is because I feel very sick today. My throat is definitely not on my side today, but I'm going to try my best to make a kind of an elongated video today, and into tomorrow I'll record this, but I'm going to try to make this kind of a longer video than usual. Going to try to stretch it near 45 to an hour. I might go over that. I don't know. I have a lot of topics I want to talk about today. I might not get to all of them, but I'm going to try my best to get to quite a few. The first one I wanted to cover was the Patriots, as many people say, or just the whole argument around cheating and the Patriots. I I want to bring up an interesting take on this. A couple interest. This will be just a. I don't know a ton about Spygate. I didn't really pay attention to it. It's pretty. It's kind of a straightforward thing. But here's something. The if you watch the Jets game, Jets against the Patriots. Bill Belichick. We were up 33-0 in the fourth quarter, and we set up to punt from our own 25. The announcers even were a little weirded out there. Like, interesting, why not take field goal? Well, Belichick then, instead of taking the field goal with a new kicker, again, we did not have our normal kicker at that point, as per usual, it seems. But instead of taking the field goal, he lines up to punt it from our own, or from the Jets 25, so 25 yards away from an end zone, well inside field goal range. We decide to punt, and the play clock starts rolling down. We're waiting for the punt. It's taking so long. Are they trying to draw them off sides? Who knows? But then they just let it go. False start. And Adam Gase kind of gets right away what Belichick is trying to do, trying to get better yardage for the punter to pin them back deep within their own 10 or 5. And he declines the penalty. He says, nope, I'm going to make your punter kick it very short here. And it's Belichick is like, okay. So the clock starts rolling down again when they set up to punt yet again. And it rolls down, all the way to 2 seconds. And that's when Brandon Bolden very purposely draws a false start penalty. And you see afterwards he's laughing, looking at the other Jets players, talking to him, probably telling him he did it on purpose. But then it cuts to Adam Gase, and Adam Gase is obviously annoyed. He's down 33-0, and now Bill Belichick is just having some fun. And he declines this one too. And the second he declines it, the camera switches to Bill Belichick, and he is sitting there with a little smirk on his face. And that was a kind of a sweet moment to watch as a Patriots fan, just to see that. Because you don't see Belichick smile often. Really, the only time we see him smile is when we win the Super Bowl. That's it. And that was cool. But my segue, my point with bringing this to the cheater thing is that the Patriots are going to do a lot of things that they can try to do in order to give themselves an advantage over the other team. And they're going to try their best to find loopholes in the rules. And it was obvious there that Belichick was kind of using a little bit of a loophole. Or if you look back at when Belichick, they snapped the ball into behind their own end zone on a punt. Or they lined up to punt from, I think, like the 2 or 3 in a game. It was a long time ago. But instead of snapping to the punter and punting it, they take a safety. And it made sense because they were up, I think they were up 6 or something, I don't know, 5 or 6. And it's like, well, I'd rather trust my defense from 80 yards away than from 50 yards away. It is just a really smart thing to do, and I think that Belichick is going to try everything he can do to get an advantage. And that's really my argument with Spygate, is that I think if they don't see it as unfair, they're going to go ahead and do it. But honestly, I think it was a dumb thing. I don't think we should have done that, but it's whatever. It's in the past. It's whatever. And now I'm going to talk about Deflategate, which is was the biggest thing for about 2 years. So in our Super Bowl run to I think it was Super Bowl 49 against the Seattle Seahawks, we played against the Indianapolis Colts in the AFC Championship. We pounded them down. We had points up into the upper 40s. We shut them out. It was great. And then at some point in the second quarter, a ref is feeling a ball, and some players go, hey, that ball's a little underinflated. And the refs are looking around at each other. They're like, yeah, it's pretty uninflated. It doesn't feel right. So they take it over to check it out, and it turns out it's well under PSI. Or not well under, but a bit under the required minimum for PSI in a football. And, they said that we deflated the footballs. And, it's a little interesting because we still outscored the Colts. I think it was 28 something to 7 or 0. And we destroyed them even when the balls were inflated. So I don't see why we would need the balls to be deflated, which kind of takes away the reason to deflate them in the first place. But yeah, then after everybody starts kind of freaking out about it, and then it goes to court and it gets kind of dismissed for a while. And everyone's like, all right, Brady's free. They didn't do it, whatever. And then a little while later, Roger Goodell comes out and it goes after Brady again, goes after the Patriots after it had already been dismissed. And at that point, I was like, what the heck? Why? So then they go through court. They're getting laughed out of these courts because they're like, it's such a stupid case. And Brady has a choice to take it to the Supreme Court or not. And of course, the NFL wants to because Roger Goodell can't be undermined. So Brady says it's the off season. Going into this next year, it's the off season. Trying to make a run for Super Bowl 51. How about we just drop it? Sure, take 4 games away. We'll still be there at the end of the year. I'm going to focus on the off season. I'm not going to spend half my time out here fighting a stupid case that I know I'm innocent from. And he drops it. He says, I'm not taking it there. If he wants those 4 games, let him have it. They trust our team. And we went 3-1 in that 4-game stretch, which was great. It was awesome to see. And a lot of people, a big argument with how Brady was guilty was that after Brady was after Roger Goodell said that Brady did this and said that the Patriots did this, Brady started texting or contacting his ball boy calls with the ball boy, the Patriots, during that game. And everyone's like, oh, why is he contacting the ball boy all of a sudden? What's he trying to do? Is he trying to tell him, why didn't you hide it? And everyone was like, and then people try to dismiss it, like, it's contacting the ball boy. What's the big deal? And they say, well, he hasn't contacted him for really ever before this, and now all of a sudden he's calling him like 5 times, and it's like people think so irrationally when they're out on a witch hunt. Because when you think about it, think about this. You are working at a pizzeria, right? Or you're the manager of a pizzeria. And it comes out that one of your employees stole some pizza and took it home and stole a bunch of company stuff. And the higher-ups are kind of freaking out at you like, hey, why are you letting your guys do this? Like, what, do you want a bit of pizza yourself? And you tell me, would you contact your employee to say, hey, did you deflate the footballs? Did you steal that pizza? I mean, like, if I was Brady, of course I'd be calling the guy. I'd be like, look, dude, did you deflate the footballs? And then I'm guessing on the first call, he said, no, Brady did not deflate the footballs. And then I'm guessing afterwards, Brady was kind of talking to him like, are you sure you didn't deflate the footballs? And it's just like, well, where are the calls before the game where Brady arranged for it to happen? Where are the calls championship day where he's calling the ball? Like, all right, listen closely. I need you to deflate the footballs. Yeah, I think it's really going to help us win this game. We've won a ton of games this season. We've won a ton of games for the last decade without deflating footballs. And we got this great team around us, best coach in history, and the best quarterback in history based on many statistics. I've won 3 Super Bowls. I don't think I can win this game without deflating footballs. I know I've won many other AFC championships, many other playoff games without deflating footballs, but hey, I need you to deflate these footballs for me, man. I don't think I can do it without it. Like, that just sounds so stupid. You got the best team in the league. What do you need to deflate footballs for? You're already winning all these games. You're already in the AFC championship. I don't think they would go out of their way to cheat when they're already that good without cheating. Like, what? It just doesn't make any sense to me. It just doesn't, It's like if you're acing every test in your math class, why risk cheating? Like, what's the point? You got 20 out of 20 on your last 5 math tests. You're coming up to this one, you're like, even though I aced those last 5, I'm still a little worried about this one. I better cheat. Like, what? Are you high? What's going on? Yeah, I don't know. It's laughable because it's just like, why would they? And what reason do they have? There's no incentive there. You already got a great chance to win it. Why risk it? It just seems way too dumb for them. I just don't think Belichick would do something like that. That's my look on it. I think Belichick's confident enough in his team to not do that. But yeah, it's whatever, I guess. It's whatever. You took the 4 games and you won the damn Super Bowl, so what should I care? Goodell can have his little thing. So yeah, that's Deflategate. And that's the Patriots cheating. I don't think they're cheaters at all. I really don't. I don't think they cheat. I think they play fair. I think they win games fairly. To be honest, the Patriots rarely have ref advantage, so take that one away. And it really, really annoys me. Last year, the thing that annoyed me so much, or this past off season, was all the talk about we need to change the overtime rules. And it's like, oh my God, if Patrick Mahomes got the ball, went up there and scored, nobody would be freaking out. Nobody would be like, we need to change overtime rules. Because nobody cares if Tom Brady doesn't win. But if the Patriots win again, everyone's so tired of it, they need to find every single possible way to discredit them. And it's annoying. Like, everybody likes greatness to a point. Everybody loves to see success in the NFL. Everybody loves to see an awesome team. Everybody loved to see the Golden State Warriors, Everybody loved to see the Celtics. Everybody loved to see the Cowboys back in the day, the 49ers back in the day, Joe Montana, Jerry Rice. But they only like greatness to a point. They only like greatness to a point. It feels like 10 years was too long for them. Not to mention now we're sitting at around 19 years and running. It's like, my God, how... I understand it. If I was an NFL fan for an AFC team, I don't think the NFC teams care as much. Because because they don't have to play us every year in the playoffs, except for the Super Bowl for the last 4 years, or 3 years. But I get it. I get the whole thing of like, if the Bengals went to 4 or 5 Super Bowls, I would be tired of it. I'd be like, come on, let at least another AFC team get in. My God. But at the same time, I wouldn't stoop so low to every minute just dig through everything to find any little sliver of that was unfair. Things aren't going to be completely fair in a game like football, in a game like soccer, in a game like baseball. Any sport requires a little bit of luck. You need a little bit of luck, you know? You need a little bit of luck for that great catch in the end zone. You need a little bit of luck for that circus catch, Jermaine Kearse. You need luck for stuff. You need luck to win the toss at the beginning of the game. And it's like everybody's freaking out. And you can't expect everything to be based off of talent in a sport. The only way that happens if you create a million rules that make it so that everything is based on talent. There's no possible way to get lucky. And it's like, geez. Man, it's a sport. It's a game. And as much as it is important, I don't think we should go around saying that it's unfair for a team to be lucky. I don't think that's unfair at all. I wouldn't have been terribly mad if the Chiefs got the overtime toss, you know? I wouldn't have been super mad about that. I would have been like, well, we shouldn't have let it go into overtime in the first place. We should have won on normal. You know, in the Eagles game, I didn't sit there for 10 months afterwards complaining about all the 50-50 calls that went to the Eagles. You didn't hear a bunch of Patriots fans or the NFL, everyone who wasn't an Eagles fan, posting around saying, oh my gosh, did they pay off the refs? What is this? Nobody went around saying that. No, they praised the Eagles. And they praised the Philly special play, even though we basically ran the same play earlier that day. And it's like, God, it's just so irritating to watch as a fan of the game, as a fan of the Patriots, just a fan of the game in general even, just to watch greatness get constantly discredited by people who just hate the fact that they're so good. It's like, get better. Create. Or find a head coach that is as good as Belichick. I don't think he ever will, but try. You know, build a team. Build a structural franchise that is based off of do your job. That is based off of, not based off of skilled players. Not based around Ezekiel Elliott, not based around Lamar Jackson, but instead based around everybody doing their job. The Patriots aren't built around Tom Brady. The Patriots aren't built around Julian Edelman. They're not built around Stephon Gilmore. They're not built around their middle linebacking core. They're not built around their secondary. They're not built around the running game. They're not built around the passing game. They are not built around any one section of the team. And that's one of the biggest reasons, really, I think they're so successful. That's it. If you were to ask me what the biggest reason is, I think that's the biggest reason. With the way free agency is today, it's impossible to have such success over such a long period of time. But when you're the Patriots and you build your team in a way that you're not built around any one section of your team, and that you find guys that will do their job just well enough to win you games, it isn't all the money in the world. The Patriots have shown that. To find guys in every position that can do their job just enough to win games. They don't need to spend another $10 million to get anything extra out of you. They just need you to do your job. And players do their job in New England, and then other teams say, oh my God, nobody on our team can do our job. Let's spend $30 million on that guy. And that's right where they go wrong. If you build your team around one player, you can't expect the rest of your team to feel like they're supposed. Of course they feel like they're going to do their job, but when you're on the Patriots, and Gronk said in a recent talk show, he said, nobody's a superstar on the Patriots. And the reason for that is, if nobody's a superstar, then everybody's doing it to help each other. Everybody's at the same level. Nobody's above anyone else. Everybody is just as committed to their work. Everybody is just as expected to do their job just as well as the guy next to them. And when you have that, no guy gets left behind. You aren't sitting there relying on your offense to bail out your defense. You aren't sitting there relying on your defense to bail out your offense. Of course, you'll have bad days where one or the other doesn't do as well, but the point is you're not built around one section of your team. And when you do that, it becomes so much easier to have a revolving door season through season in those positions. Because it doesn't cost a lot to get a guy who will do his job. But if you spend half your money on 3 guys to do an amazing job, and then you spend half your money on 50 guys to do an okay job, not enough to win you a ton of games, but they do an okay job, enough to make a starting roster. Another 19 players that are just good enough to make a starting roster. That's what you spend the other half of your money on, because you don't have enough. But if instead you take all of your money and you split it out evenly throughout the team to build the best team possible, the most solid built team, then you'll win games. A team that can do enough to win will win games. The Patriots remind me of Moneyball. The movie Moneyball with Brad Pitt. True story about the Oakland Athletics. Their incredible win streak. And that team, everybody doubted them at the beginning. Because they brought in a bunch of no-names. Guys who threw weird. Guys who didn't look right. Guys who other people passed on. But they did it because they knew it would be enough to win. Not because they needed a superstar to lift up the entire team himself, but because if they got a bunch of good players, not amazing players, but good players, then the team would be amazing. The team would be good. You don't want players weighing you down. You want everybody working together to lift the entire team up. And that's what the Patriots do. That's what the Athletics did. That's why the Patriots will continue to be successful as long as they keep this mentality. And as long as Belichick is in there, and as long as Josh McDaniels is in there, I don't know, maybe Josh McDaniels takes over for Bill Belichick. But right now, as long as Bill Belichick is in there, we're going to keep finding success. We're going to keep winning games, even when Brady leaves. And that's that. I've kind of gone away from the whole cheating perspective, but back to that, the Patriots don't cheat. They're just that good. And you guys can keep trying to find ways to discredit us, but trust me, that's just fuel to the fire.